Hello everyone, today I'm here to show you some financial process that is very dangerous if you don't have background knowledge in them. And the process that we're going to look into today is the deposit process. Let me first begin with the breakdown of the topics that we're going to cover today. First, I will cover the details of the deposit verbally, and then second, I will show the numerical details of the deposits process. We will begin with the first part, which is the verbal details of the deposits. And for some of you who might not know what deposit is, the deposit is the process in which you deposit or basically put your money in the bank in order to receive payments. And these payments are called interest. However, most people do not know that the interest that are advertised and they actually receive has yet to be deducted by tax. And the things that are deducted are called risks. Risk is an uncertainty of an event occurring, and the probability of that event to occur can vary among different individual calculations. In our case, the risk is of a financial standpoint. Many of you might have heard about the financial risks, such as inflation, in which we have to deal with the risk continuously every day. To help you see a more clear picture on how we face financial risks every day, I'm going to give you an example. Let's say today you buy a bottle of soda for 10 baht, but tomorrow we face a financial risk, and the price of the soda goes up to 15 baht. So the 10 baht that you bought the soda yesterday, you couldn't buy the soda today anymore. And let's imagine that all the things that you are obligated to pay just suddenly face the financial risk as the soda price. Everything that you just have to pay just goes up. Consequently, you are not going to be able to maintain all the obligations as well as maintaining a good financial standpoint. You're unable to cover your debts. Now I'm going to add further into the subject with the help of the Microsoft Excel to show you some numbers. In this Excel application, the user can select the bank that they use and prefer, as well as selecting which type of account you wanted. And the banks that are included in this deposit application are banks that are frequently used by Thais. Let's say we select Krung Thai Bank, and next we're going to select on the account type, which there are two categories, fixed and savings account. Say we pick on fixed account first. Next, we're going to put input price. Let's say $100,000. That's 100,000 baht. My apologies. And next you can select the period of the fixed account, which there are 4 of them: 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, and 24 months. Let's say we select 24 months. And then bottom you'll see the results. You'll see the return, which is 1.45%, but the return after tax, the actual money that you actually get from the return, is 1.23%, because the tax rate, because it is deducted by tax, which is 15% in Thailand. From this, the total money return is 100,132.5 baht. And this red box right here is the money that you lose from the inflation rate. As you can see, the inflation rate is much higher than the money that you get returned. Now let's see if we can go to another bank. Let's see if we get a positive return. Say we select Bank of Ayutthaya, and we'll move on to select savings account. Input price, let's say we put in 150,000. And for the savings account, the periods, there's only going to be one period, which is a normal. And you can see from the return is only 0.3%, and once the returns are deducted by tax is only 0.26, and the money that you get returned is roughly 382 baht, but you lose money from inflation, which is 3,000. You also get a negative return. And from, let's say we switch again with Bank Ayutthaya to a fixed account, and we pick on the 24-month rate again, and look at the results. In the in the green box, as you can see, the money you get return is roughly 2,000, but the money you lose from inflation is 2,167. Still, you get a negative return. And from this, we can say that the inflation rate in Thai is much higher than the rate that the banks provide. Every banks, because the inflation rate in Thailand is much higher than every banks in Thailand. So we recommend users to hedge against the inflation risk by investing in government bonds, which will provide even higher return for investors and depositor. And now I have finished the verbal description of the deposit. Now we're going to move on to how we make the applications. First, we're gonna go to new sheet, and then we gotta go get the data from the internet. We're gonna use the data from Bank of Thailand website, the daily interest rate of commercial banks. As you have previously seen before, there are two categories: fixed and savings, and there are types of months as in the applications. Now I'm gonna download the data. You can see clearly that the numbers of the 3-month fixed rate, they are in between, so we have to separate them. We're going to insert a row first, and then we're going to use the text to columns, and we're going to select delimited. Next, and we're going to select the box of space, and the other one is other. And the little box, you're going to type in the dash sign, so the thing's going to erase. Finish. Now the numbers are not in between, they're separated, so now we can do the averaging of the numbers. First by typing equal average, the function of the Excel. Then we fixed the cells C6 and D6. We're going to lock only the alphabets. Then we're going to scroll down through all of them to E24. You gotta drag down, and you can see the numbers are average. But there are one banks that doesn't have information because they're not frequently used, so we're gonna hide it out. Only gonna use the Thai banks that are mostly used. As you can see, the months are not properly written, so it would be hard for us to continue using that. So we're gonna change it properly by using the function replace. Type in replace, and all text, you select the text you want to change, and then start number is the character you want to replace or insert, and then next number character is 0, so it doesn't delete the other characters in the previous text. And in new text, you put in the things you want to insert, the letter, character. Press enter. There you go. And now we're gonna skip the next 3 months because the process are the same. Now the data is ready and prep. We're gonna continue making the applications. Now we're gonna go look at the original application so we can create a new one. For the bank list, we're going to use the combo box to create a list that we can select from by clicking developer and then insert, go to ActiveX control, and then the combo box, drag it. By the way, if your Excel doesn't have developer in it, you can go to files, options, customize ribbon, developer, and then you press OK. It should appear. And now we're going to go to design mode, select on the box, property, and then go to the list field range. And things we're going to put in is going to be the data from the banks. Drag it, copy it, and then put it in the property of the last list field range. Press enter. Get out of design mode. And you can see that you can select the banks. And we're going to do a cell link by design mode, property, and then we select on linked cell. We choose J3 to be our link cell. Get out of design mode, and when you select the banks, you can see that there's a reference on J3. Now we're going to decorate the combo box, which is better than a drop down link since there's a lot of options like fonts. As you can see, you can select bold and many other font sizes as well. So you can see the font changes. And for the account type, it's the same process as the bank list, as you can see. So we're gonna skip this part. Now we're gonna insert a text box in developer. Drag it, then go to properties and link cell. We're gonna type in J8, J9, and then get out of design mode. You can type in what numbers, and you can see there's a reference on J9. And next, we're going to look at the period. We're going to use the drop-down box. First, in order to do that, we got to define the name, change the name basically. You drag the type of months and then change it to fixed. And then we're going to show you an example of what we have done. And press equal fixed. My bad for that. You have to control shift to get all the months, as you can see. Now we're going to move on to the second category. We're going to set cell D4 to save. Now we're going to do the data validation. Press it and then select to lists and the source. You got to type in equal indirect. Indirect is for reference from the fix and save that we done. See? And you pick the cell J7, my bad. Block it with the word save and fix. As you can see, now they're linked, and when you press fix, the cells on the bottom, the drop down box, my bad, also change. Next, we're going to move on to the result, the return box. As you can see from the application that I finished, we're going to use index, and normally index is used to trace back the value in cell by using row and columns, but in this case the row and columns are always changing because of the data validation and combo box that we use, so we're going to need to use other functions to help, and that function is match. And the match function is used to know the exact columns and rows where the cell is located to help out the index function. Type in equal index, then we'll go to select a table array for the data, comma, then we're going to use the match to help out the index locate, and we're going to select the bank, and we're going to use the data table of banks list to reference, and we're going to use exact match, which is 0, comma, and then we're going to use a match function again. This time we're going to do columns. Select the months, period, and reference again on the data table. Normal, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, and 24 months. 0. Then press enter, and you can see that. And now we're going to play with the data. You can see that the return change is correlated with the change in the period, the bank change as well as the. Now we're gonna do the return after tax box by using the equation equals the return times 1 minus the tax rate in Thailand. Next, total money return box. Use the equation equals the initial deposit times 1 plus the return that you actually get after tax enter. And lastly, we're going to move on to our last box. The money loss from inflation. We use equation H19 minus the initial deposit times 1 plus the inflation rate in Thailand. And now we're going to change the data of the new models to match the one that we previously made, so we can compare. And from this, we really hope that you have learned to make your own models, and most important of all is we hope that you benefit from this video. So thank you for listening.